Hi, welcome back to Real Auto Reports. I'm Jonathan McGrew here at Real Auto Ranch with another real video, the real review on the all-new 2013 Nissan Sentra. This is the SL model. And well, what does that mean? We'll tell you coming up in this real video. So let's jump in the driver's seat and hit the road. All right, so welcome back. We are in the 2013 Nissan Sentra, and we're going to give you all the details you need to know about this car right now. So let's really get into it. What is the all-new 2013 Nissan Sentra really all about? Well, it is a compact car. It's a commuter car. It's 4 doors. It's meant to really be in town and at an affordable price point. And this one certainly is at just over $22,000 as tested. And this is pretty ritzy as we stop here. You know, it's got wood interior. You've got a leatherette type of finish here. You've got steering wheel controls, navigation, rear backup camera, all the things that you would want to find in even a higher end car, yet you have them here in this Nissan Sentra. And so it's not going to be a super performer. It's not even going to have power seats and those kind of features, but it's a car that I could really see living with if you were out driving to and from the office all the time, maybe even 30, 40, 50 miles. This car is going to get excellent gas mileage, 39 miles per gallon out on the freeway. It has an eco button down here that'll change the throttle inputs. It's got a sport button, and it also has traction control in this model that we're testing. Now, what we should tell you is that this is the SL model. Think of the S as the base model. Think of adding the L for luxury, because that's what they're giving you in this Sentra with the SL package. You've got dual climate control, the touch screen, the navigation, XM satellite radio, all the steering wheel controls as I mentioned, easy to read gauge, full trip computer. Some of these things you'll find on the base Model S, but what you won't find are the front heated seats and the wood trim and the satin and the chrome. I mean, it's just, they have done a really nice job. In fact, this SL even has automatic lights, which I find on a car of this price point quite remarkable. And it's not the only one out there. You could look at a Ford Focus. You could look at, well, if you really wanted to get into it, you could get into a Chevy Cruze. There are a lot of cars, a Hyundai Elantra, the Kia also has, you know, they have their Forte that you could look at. You have a lot of options in this entry-level sedan, this compact 4-door. But one of the things that Nissan did in 2013 is they redesigned this vehicle. And this is not going to have a sporty edge to it. This has a classic sedan design, very slab side, large greenhouse for headroom. As you can see, I'm 6 foot or a little bit over, and I have lots of headroom here in this vehicle. And one of the things that I think is really interesting about what Nissan has done to the 2013 Sentra is the focus on passenger space. So what's nice is that in my driving position where I'm comfortable, my 6'2" father can still sit in the back seat. There's an armrest with cup holders, and you can fit 4 people in here really comfortably because the Sentra has the most backseat room of any car that we've tested here at Real Auto Reports in its class. And indeed, of any car that I've really been in its class. So I think it's quite remarkable. And even more so, it has a very large trunk that will allow you to put a whole bunch of stuff in it. And that's, I mean, I have to admit that I do a lot of events and traveling, and we go to the airport a lot back and forth, and so it really gives me a chance to test a lot of these cars, abilities, to carry passengers and things. And what I can tell you is that if you're familiar with a trade show pop-up display case, you may have seen it in our Ford Fusion review. That big case can fit into the trunk of the Ford Fusion, no seats folded down, and you just shut the trunk. Well, in this car, you can put it in the trunk as well, but you do have to pop the back seats and let it push into the interior department. But I'm telling you, for a compact car, that's pretty impressive. In fact, I would say the trunk room on this rivals larger sedans that we have tested, because of the focus on interior space and usability that Nissan's put on the Sentra. Now, from a driving experience, you're going to have, mixed feelings about this car, and that has been true for a long time for the Nissan brand. One of the things that is something people really don't like or they are okay with, it really, I think it's an all or nothing kind of proposition for many people, is the CVT. And why is that? Well, when you floor it, my father kept telling me to stop doing that when I would take him out to lunch or whatever, because I would get out onto the road and I'd put the pedal down, because it's a small engine, 1.8 liter. It's not super high in horsepower or anything. It's not going to be a sports compact. And one of the things that you can tell is that it revs really high up, and it stays there with the CVT, the continuously variable transmission, something Nissan has been known for quite a while, and probably have one of the best CVTs in the business. The problem is that it's just not always comfortable to deal with, because it makes a lot of noise when you go out to get on the freeway. It doesn't shift. So yeah, like the commercials for the Altimas used to be, your lady friends can put on their lipstick, or even your guy friends, whichever, but you aren't going to get that shift sensation. However, it does make for a fairly loud interior compartment when it revs up to give you all of the torque, horsepower, all at once, because it's keeping you way up into the power band so it can move this little car around. And it makes people kind of go, whoa, is this thing going to blow up while I'm getting on the highway? But have no fear, these Nissans are very, very well built. I've owned a number of Nissans over the years, and I have no problem saying that the quality control and the reliability in Nissan is well founded. So it's really more down to, do you like it? Are you okay with the noise on the occasion that you're really going to put the pedal down? And does the car, are you willing to sacrifice a little bit of that sporty performance edge to have very comfortable interior with a lot of room? This is a very practical car. It's a car that will suit many people well in a commuter basis. So I think Nissan's actually done a nice job. It's got nice touches, nice detail in the dash with the speedo and the tack, and just the way things are laid out. Everything's very reachable. You have your mirrors over here, your headlight switch is up on the stock, turn signals, windshield wipers. Everything you could need is, as you can see, I can reach everything I need to touch in this car. You've also got your sunglass holder, you've got visor extensions, mirrors, even when the driver doesn't really need one. So you've got a lot in this car, and I guess I like to give companies credit where they've really done a nice job, and I think Nissan has here. But I don't think this car's for everyone. It's a little bland, it's a little understated if you're looking for that kind of, what I would compare to the Elantra or the Forte or any of those kind of cars in that bracket, where it looks a little sportier. So really, closing thoughts on this 2013 Nissan Sentra SL. I think they've done a nice job. I think if you're in the market for a compact four-door sedan, this is a vehicle that you want to cross-shop with the ones that I mentioned before. Definitely want to cross-shop it with the Ford Focus. You want to cross-shop it with the Chevy Cruze, Hyundai Sonata, Kias. I mean, any of them that you can think of that would be in this price range. And that's the upper to low $20,000, so upper teens to low $20,000. This one's $22,400. This is a car that's going to give you great MPG, maybe not class leading. It's not 40 or over mile per gallon, but 39 is excellent for the highway. Its combined rating is also really good, and we mentioned all of those, earlier in our first impressions review on this car, because that's the thing you think about first when you're looking at a small compact car. But the Sentra's really grown over the years. This is much bigger than the 90s Sentras that you might have you might remember, or the Sentras from the late 80s for sure. They're quieter, it drives better. It's going to drive a little more top heavy than you might be, expecting, because it does have a large greenhouse. But all in all, I find the road holding good. I find it comfortable to drive. But you do have to get used to the seating position. When I got into this car out of the last car that we tested, I noticed that I just felt like I was sitting up really high. And so I lowered the seat all the way down and kind of tried to squeech down in here and get comfortable. And I got used to it. And, now after driving it for, a week or more, this car doesn't seem that different anymore, because you get used to it. So my best advice is, as you're shopping for cars, make sure you drive them multiple times in different scenarios, different times a day, at night, around busy streets, not on busy streets. Just get used to them and spend some time in your car search and your purchase, because I can tell you from driving different cars all the time, it takes a while for you to figure out the things that you really love and the things that you don't. And in this Sentra, the only thing that I really don't like is really the noise in the lower end power. I like a little bit more pep in my cars, no matter what kind of car they are. So it's not quite as performance oriented as my, tastes are. But all in all, this is definitely a car that I would use for commuting, and I would recommend it to those that I know are looking for a good all-around commuter city car that's comfortable for their passengers and can carry a lot of stuff. So we'll have the wrap-up coming up next, right here on Real Auto Reports.
So that's the real video, the real review on this all-new 2013 Nissan Sentra SL. This is the top of the range, as we've mentioned, and at an as-tested price of $22,400, it is not bad. Well, pretty much anyway. The CVT still leaves a little to be desired, because it really does rev up and make a lot of noise when you need to get going. It's a 1.8 liter four-cylinder, so you're not expecting breakneck speed here, but actually it's probably quicker than we give it credit for. It is the largest interior room of any of these compact four-door sedans, and that's what you really need to know, is that back seat or rear passenger legroom is class leading. It's also got a pretty carnivorous trunk, and the styling for 13 is, well, closer to its big brother, the Altima, and therefore I think it looks much better than its previous generation. And indeed, it is actually a pretty nice drive for a pretty low-cost four-door compact sedan. So if you're looking for one in the market, well, this is one you need to go test out, especially since it has these 17-inch alloy wheels, metallic finishes in the paint, and all of that Nissan quality and reliability. For Real Auto Reports, I'm Jonathan McGrew. We're here at Real Auto Ranch, and we'll see you down the road.